Hi, Brady.
Howdy. How you doing, Matt?
I'm good. Thanks for being here today.
My pleasure.
You're
Happy to be
local.
here. Welcome, by the way, to the hub of the robotics universe right here in Boston.
It's very lovely.
Yeah.
The weather's kind of crappy, though.
It is an awesome place to be.
Well, you've been in the robotics industry for 25 years. You started here,
Yeah.
went to Draper, founded Mass Robotics, and joined Amazon a few years ago, right?
That's right.
There's a lot to unpack there, but I want to start a whole lot earlier than that. Let's go back to childhood.
All right.
I need to know, did you have a robotic inspiration as a kid?
This is your burning question.
Yeah,
we
it
are
is.
ready for this.
I really want to know.
I did. So let me see. I grew up in a small two-stoplight type of town in central New York. I am a huge fan of Star Wars. R2-D2 to me is a fantastic, and it will always be a fantastic robot, because he brings the game, right? When you need a robot to be there who's multi-dimensional, he's there. Now, actually, I'm even just thinking about why I like this so much. Star Wars 4, the original,
Sure.
right? Where we all should start.
A New Hope.
A New Hope. Do you remember when Luke, it was kind of a whiny Luke, when he first met R2-D2 and C-3PO, right? So this is actually, I think, speaks to today. So if you remember, there's Luke Skywalker, and he's on a farm, and he's a farmer with his parents,
Sure.
right, out in the middle of the desert there.
Stoplight town.
Exactly. And he was looking for a robot that would help him farm better, right? So he had to go to town in order to find ultimately C-3PO and R2-D2 that would give him more capability, more human capability, so that he can have better connection with his family, sustainment for the family, and then, next thing you know, he's a Jedi.
Right. And then they make
Nothing out
bad
of the
movies.
park, right? It's fantastic.
Okay, well, that kind of, thank you for that segue. That worked really nicely for me. What about that is a complete robotic system? How can we build a complete robotic system like that?
Yeah. So what I really love about what I do, so I'm the chief technologist at Amazon Robotics. I get to shape, promote, and transition robotic technologies for our Amazon customer. And it's a fantastic, amazing job. Any job where you go and there's 2,000 robots kicking around your backyard is awesome, right? But to tie it back to Star Wars, ultimately it's about humans and machines collaborating together in order to achieve a meaningful task, right? So even in our science fiction, we want human extensibility through our machines, right? We use our machines in ways at Amazon so that we can have a more efficient fulfillment process. It's amazing. If you would come see our robots in action, we have deployed over 80,000 robots in our fulfillment centers.
How many locations?
Over 25 fulfillment centers. We have 80,000 robots deployed. And it is this beautiful symphony of humans and robots working together in order to achieve this task, right? And I really think that is the future, just speaking as a generalist now, across all of industry, that is the future. You need the purpose. You need to understand why you're doing that, and then the technology will then allow you to achieve that role. And we do that inside the fulfillment centers, and it's very exciting to think about, because I don't know if you know this, but we're really just beginning in robotics.
Sure. So
it is the birth of robotics right now.
So I guess compared to the internet's life cycle, where is the robotic life cycle right now?
So let me see. You want to go back to my two-stoplight town for a second?
Yeah.
All right. So, and by the way, I love being at the Institute. I just love it. I love being here.
Really
it's
nice,
great. I see so many friends out in the crowd. Some amazing companies that are here in Boston. It is awesome.
I was sitting in these seats earlier, and these seats were installed when people were a little smaller. It's kind of snug out there now.
Let me go to my two-stoplight town.
All
So
right, great.
I grew up with a passion for computing. I had my TI 99 4A computer, my personal computer. I would program on that and make some really cheesy games, but it was awesome. We're talking, it was the first computer to have 16 bits, the first personal computer with 16 bits. That was a big deal. I really loved that. A whopping 32 kilobytes of memory, and I got to actually ignited passion. I enjoyed programming that in all kinds of ways. That brought me to here to Boston. I've been a Bostonian for over 32 years, which is great. Went to school at BU, did my undergraduate work there, and got connected along the way to some fantastic mentors. Got to learn how to combine. I'm a rocket kind of guy. I've studied aerospace and astronautics here at MIT and at BU, and really learned how to build when I was at an early age of how to combine technologies in a meaningful way in order to accomplish a greater task. So that brought me then to now embracing computers more than just a hobby, but something that can really make a difference in the world. Now let's fast forward to robotics, and robotics is this phenomenal and emerging and extremely exciting field that we're in, and that it combines sensors, computing, and actuation together in a physical device in our physical environment. So now let's track computers to robotics in that we saw the birth of computers in the 50s and the 60s becoming more widespread. And then we see the connected computer has arisen and extremely powerful. I was here at MIT when really Mozilla and the web kind of just started out. It's a little side story. I used to do a lot of my work with FTP side scripts and program them because I can get my weather every day really easy. I had my automatons do that. I'm like, really? A mouse click is going to change the world? Yes, it actually will. Not everyone likes to program in Perl or actually in awk and grep and sed in the days. Anyway, so now we have the birth of the computer, we have the connected computer, and then we're all here for the mobile connected computer that has really enabled society to do new things. And now when you think about a mobile connected actuated computer, right? A computer that can actually do things and change its environment and be adaptive and flexible. That's extremely exciting. So the time is really now for the beginnings of robotics. I mean, think about the car. The car's evolved over 100 years. It's still basically a car.
Sure.
But how much has that changed? And I think it's fascinating to think about as a technologist of how much that will change in robotics over the next 100 years. And I think central to that mission will be reframing our relationship with machines, of how humans and machines relate to each other in this human extensible way.
So let's take it to Amazon.
Yeah.
Right. Where does Amazon see itself in the robotics industry?
Yeah, so we have this phenomenal ability to obsess about the customer.
Why do you have that?
Because the customer means everything to us, right? We are customer obsessed. We will do anything, we will innovate in any ways to make that customer satisfied. When you click the Buy Now button on Amazon.com, there is a promise behind that. There's a promise that we will get you the right good. We want to give you the largest availability in the world, and we want to bring that good to you at a low cost, right? And we're fulfilling that promise. And what that does is that sets up the overall need, and the driving force behind robotics. Because now we understand that entire system. We have the ability to automate and add robotics in a smart symphony of humans and machines working together. In order to fulfill those orders, and what used to take more than a day now takes less than an hour. And we can do that extremely efficient within Amazon using our robotics. Just our drive units alone adds better than 52% volume storage inside the same footprint of building. So it makes a big difference. And when those types of efficiencies that we can gain, we can then pass along that cost ultimately to the customer in order to make this awesome flywheel of innovation.
Sure. So I guess I need to ask you straight up, Ty.
Straight up.
Is it Amazon's goal to replace humans completely with robots in their warehouses and fulfillment centers?
I get asked that question a lot, and it's just not the way I see it, not the way I see it at all. If you were to be a systems engineer and design a system where you have humans and machines working together, what you want to do is you want to optimize the strengths of each. And humans no matter how you cut it, and for a long time, are really great at creative, at problem solving and thinking of creative solutions and abstraction and generalization, right? They are phenomenal at that. Robots are really good at crunching numbers and pulling data out of the database and lifting heavy objects, moving with precision.
Sure.
So as a systems engineer, first you think about how can we build a system that brings the strengths of each of those components together. And it's precisely what we do inside our fulfillment centers. If you were to visit today, and we encourage you to, there are public tours available at our fulfillment centers, you would see...
How many people go on those tours?
That I don't know, but I have seen lots of smiles when they walk. It's always funny to be on the other side when you see the tour, because
Sure.
you're in there working and you're seeing what's going on, and then you see, I particularly love it when I see children come through, and they are enamored. They love the robots, right? They absolutely love to see the robots out there. I love the robots, so I guess I'm probably just a big kid at heart. So it's available, and if you were to walk through there, you would see this symphony of humans and robots working together, fulfilling orders in a way that the world hasn't seen. And the ability for us to innovate and do that is somewhat unique, I think, even across industry, because we have the ability to try new things. We have the application for robotics where we can try a cutting-edge type of solution, and we can just put a toe in it. We can do it in our sandbox first, and we are here in Massachusetts. Our headquarters in North Reading here. We will try out some of our solutions in North Reading, and then what we have is they have the ability to then inject it into our network and try it maybe on one corner of one floor in the real environment, and to see, is this solution that our amazing engineers and staff have worked on, does this solution really cut it? And if it does, great, then we'll expand it on the floor. If it doesn't, we'll bring it back in, we'll iterate on it, we'll innovate, we'll do that cycle, and then we'll deploy it again. And the ability to do that throughout industry is actually gives us the ability to raise robotics as a whole all the way throughout.
I would love to talk to you more about cloud robotics, but we
Yeah.
can't. We have 7 minutes and 33 seconds
time
left.
flies.
And there are questions from the audience that were submitted that I need to ask in a few minutes. But first, before we get to that,
Sure.
quickly, I need your comments on this. Over the weekend, Elon Musk called for the government to regulate AI, calling it the greatest threat to our civilization, and that AI could cause social destabilization and job loss. So, simply put, does AI need to be regulated now?
So I want to go back to just the earlier principle, is that you, as a designer, as an engineer, as a roboticist, you should think about how to build the right system, right from the get-go. I'm going to, as a Bostonian, hope I can get away with this.
We'll see.
I'm going to rephrase famous words from JFK.
Okay.
Okay?
All right.
Ask not what you will do for technology, but what technology will do for you, right? So,
Okay.
and what I mean by that is that our technology that we develop is for our purposes. It's squarely centered on the human. We will always be in charge of our technology. We will always be have the need, the human currency for connection. Our time is extremely valuable. Efficiency never goes out of style. It never goes out of style, right? So for us to then build systems, and I'm actually very encouraged by AI and ML. I think that has a great way to actually help and accelerate robotics that we see even in the early stages. Specifically, what I can say is, this is more as a generalist across the industry, is that robots need to be closer to us. They need a more intuitive and human interface, right? And I'm very encouraged with Alexa and what we've done with Alexa, where you can speak to it in a natural tone,
Sure.
and you can have a conversation. And that is a great first step for our robotics to have a human, a more intuitive interface to it. Also, I'm encouraged with some of the work that I've seen in more generally in robotics, creating a learning environment for humans. So allowing humans to be curious, allowing humans to understand what is the intent of the robot, and allow the robot through AI and ML to understand what is the intent of the human, so that they can be collaborative, such that they can work together. So I'm probably speaking more as a technologist here, and I do set my targets at the 3 to 5 year out. I'm extremely encouraged about AI and ML.
So I'm going to ask it one more time. Does it need to be regulated before it could potentially get out of control?
Yeah, I'm really not a fan of regulation. I am a fan of doing whatever the customer seeks. We have a mission in mind to do order fulfillment in the best way possible in order to bring that in. So I'm not a fan of regulation.
All right, great. Well, if Jordan is around, she has some questions
Jordan,
back there.
all right. Will she speak from above?
Nope, she's right here.
Oh, okay, there she is.
For what it's worth, I'm pro-regulation.
Okay.
Is your mic on?
Mic check. There we go. First question comes from John Schechter.
Okay.
When is Amazon Robotics going to sell a consumer product? Way to
You
go,
know-
John.
Oh, that's a good laugh.
Yeah, right.
That's a very telling laugh.
I'm laughing because I would love to answer that, but we just have a long-standing practice where we just don't reveal any of our future roadmap of what it is that we were going to plan to do. But what I can say is that we will innovate in any way that the customer sees fit, and then the robotics that we're doing out there is super exciting. But we just don't talk about the future.
So
roadmap.
in the future, if I say need to move my couch, perhaps there's a Kivo robot that can go underneath and lift it up and move it?
That would be awesome. If
I think it would be
does
great.
that make your life easier?
Yeah.
That'd be
And
fantastic.
when might that happen? Okay, next question comes from Anonymous.
Anonymous.
That
Anon,
should make you
why
worry.
must?
Yeah. Autonomous navigation works. How close are we to autonomous manipulation in the industry?
Yeah, so I'm going to be on a plane the following week heading out to RoboCup in Japan, where it's our third, we used to call it the Amazon Picking Challenge, and now we call it the Amazon Robotics Challenge. And we're increasing the scope, we're increasing the prize money there. And we have seen over the past few years some amazing solutions when it comes to manipulation and picking. It is a great way for us to get closer to universities. It's a great way for us to challenge the industry as a whole in order to come up with some creative solutions. So we have seen some success in the picking challenge for sure, as you probably know. And then this year at the Amazon Robotics Challenge, we are going to spice it up even a little bit more because it seems like the industry is doing a pretty good job. And this year what we're doing is that we're adding a machine learning, an AI component to it, to your question earlier, where we used to give them all the objects in advance. We'd actually give them very detailed 3D models of the objects that they'd have to pick because it is so hard.
Sure.
And this year, for the first time, we're giving them half of the objects that they have to pick, and then a half hour before they have to go on and do the challenge, we then show them a number of new objects, and then they will put in their own machine learning, their own AI in order to do the pick. So it's actually going to be quite exciting to see all the various solutions. We have 16 finalists. Should be a really good time.
Cool.
Yeah.
Next question comes from MIT Tech Review's Will Knight.
Will Knight, yes.
Are you looking to combine humans and robotics in more effective ways, and how?
Yeah, we are always looking for that. So efficiency, even what you would consider very small gains of efficiency over the Amazon scale have tremendous benefit to our Amazon customer. And we are. So like what I spoke of earlier, we're thinking of new ways in order to improve our robots. I spoke of the intuitive interfaces. I spoke of a natural way that you can do parsing, a better learning environment. One of the things that I particularly like are robots with pointed purpose and simplicity, right? So the driviness that we have there, instead of the worker going to the goods can come to the worker, and then over scale, this massively parallel robotic system, it actually shows itself extremely well when it comes in terms of efficiency. So we will continue to add automation in concert with our human associates throughout our network and continue to bring the delivery times down and increase the availability.
Okay, last question
Last.
comes from Inga. Are you going into open source? What is your strategy in engaging partners and ecosystems, startups which are using ABB robots, unis, et cetera?
Yeah. Are you excited about that
Yeah.
question? I just wanted to check in with you there.
I'm excited. I'm still focused on regulation. We're not. In my
'Cause I'm
mind,
really
we
excited
haven't
about
moved
that.
off of that. But
Why are you excited about going to open source robotics?
So, well, I'm excited in that we are here at Boston. Again, we are among many universities, and you can at MIT and Harvard and Olin and WPI and Tufts and Northeastern. Just a fantastic set of universities. And publishing and open source is very important to them, and our relationships with the universities so that we can help transition some of the technologies that will help our end goal is super important. So we have relationships with a number of universities where we promote open source, open publication for that. And it's really with the goal of raising robotics as an industry up as a whole. So yes, very supportive.
well, that's all the questions I have.
All right.
Thank you very much.
My pleasure. My
Thank you,
pleasure.
Round of
Ty.
applause.
Thank you. Thanks.